Where are you getting stuck in life? Is it with business? Is it in something with business, something sales or marketing? Is it in relationships? Is it in simply that you struggle with procrastination in any realm of life? When you start to understand how you're getting stuck and where you're getting stuck, you can start to understand how to change. If you don't understand anything about why you're stuck, it's going to be very difficult to change. That's across the board true of almost everybody. There are a few people that can change without understanding anything. That's very, very few and far between, okay? So there are kind of two concepts here that I want to present. There's symptoms, which most of us focus on, and there are root causes that the wise people of our culture tend to focus on, okay? And the difference is that a symptom can be taken care of over and over and over, but it's going to keep coming back because there's a root problem. Think about a dandelion. I think a dandelion is basically the world around, okay? They're crazy prevalent all over the place where I live. And a dandelion, if you snap off the head, every time a dandelion pops up, you rip out the leaves, you take off the flower, it's just going to pop back up. Probably within days, it's going to shoot up another flower. They shoot up incredibly fast. And that's like most of the problems in our lives. We've got these problems over and over and over and over that we're finding, and we try to rip them out, and we cut them off or whatever, and we get relief for 5 seconds, and then they come back. And that's not true relief, because you're constantly going back. In order to get a dandelion out, what you need to do is you actually need to, it's got a taproot. So you've got to go way deep down into the ground. And if you get that taproot out and you pull out the whole thing, it's long, if you pull out the whole thing, you don't have a dandelion anymore. And now you don't have to wait 5 seconds to take care of the problem, or 1 day to take care of the problem, or 1 week to take care of the problem. Now you don't have a problem there anymore. Now in order to get to the root of a problem, any problem, what you need to do is focus. This is a very simple technique. You need to focus on what are your patterns. What are the patterns? So what is a pattern, generally speaking? A pattern is anything that happens more than once. If something happens more than once, you start to notice. And I'll give you an example from my background. In my late teens, early 20s, I had 2 girlfriends almost in a row. I had kind of 3 girlfriends over that period of time. 2 girlfriends who cheated on me. I was in a relationship with them, and they were messing around with other guys. So if it happens once, it could be, you could chalk it up to almost anything. But when something happens twice, I had to ask myself, what's going on here? My dad had a statement when we were growing up. We had I had 2 brothers and 1 sister. There were 4 siblings all in total, so 6 people in a house. And my dad would say to us, sometimes we would say, it's his fault, it's her fault. And we're always blaming other people. Kids do that, right? And we don't understand taking responsibility. And he would say, Mark, I remember him saying this many times. He'd say, Mark, if you have a fight with one person in the family, it could be anyone, anyone's fault, and it's most likely both people involved in some way. But if you fight with everyone in the family, most likely this is on you. You are causing the grief. There's something going on with you. And what I'd suggest for you is you notice the patterns in your life. If something happens one time, you can chalk it up to coincidence. That's fine, okay? But when something happens 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you need to ask yourself, what is it about me? What is going on for me that I'm getting these kinds of results? So notice the pattern. That's the first inkling you need to develop some self-awareness. Once you understand the pattern, once you understand, you don't even have to understand it completely. You simply have to notice. Once you notice the pattern, you can then say, what's going on here? And then you can start going out to your network. Hey, what's going on here? I'm noticing this pattern. What do you think is going on? Ask me. I mean, book in a coaching session or something. I'd love to talk with you. Usually I can help people within like 10 minutes to really understand what a pattern's about, okay? And me not telling them. You figuring it out for yourself, simply with a few questions, okay? But notice the pattern, and then ask yourself, what's causing the pattern? As soon as you go down and figure out what the root is, and how the root works. Does the root spread out like this? Does the root go straight down like a dandelion weed? What happens there? As soon as you understand that, you can now figure out what will work with the root to take the root out, or whatever the problem is, and now you won't have the symptoms anymore. I used to have a rash. It started when I was in China, and we were going like, yeah, there's some skin conditions in China. Maybe there was something going on there. But we came back to North America, and my daughter, the birth of our daughter came about, and she had started having these rashes, and we were going, what is going on? So I should have noticed that there's something deeper than just the symptom. I wasn't aware enough at that point in time. This is a while back. But once we noticed the pattern, this is with 2 people now, we started to look for the root cause. We found out that gluten, if my daughter had any gluten, she had this reaction to it. And then my wife said, I wonder, patterns, I wonder, there's another person in my family like this, if Mark, you stop eating gluten, I wonder if it takes away the rash. I stopped eating gluten, and within a couple of weeks, I had no symptoms anymore. No symptoms. Because we started taking care of the root cause. Now, maybe there's the gluten, and my reaction to gluten is even a reaction to something else. Maybe there's a deeper root cause. So if I notice there's other things going on, if I'm starting to develop allergies for different things or intolerances to different things, I can ask a deeper question. Always ask the deeper question. It takes so little time, but this is a brilliant soft skill you can learn that will make a massive difference in your life. Enjoy the process of doing this. It will change your life on so many levels, and you'll start helping far more people outside of yourself.